Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Sun Sign Love Connection readings and messages and guidance through the tarot and through the beautiful astrology and for the beautiful month of September. It's here. It seemed like it came pretty quickly, but it's here nonetheless. And I'm actually finishing these first of the month readings for every sign in the zodiac. And I'm starting at the end of August. So I'm wanting to get them all out by the first, second day of the month for sure for you. And the featured sign today, as I go around my zodiac wheel, is the beautiful water element of Cancer. And it's interesting because I just did the featured sign of Gemini, and you were the highlighted sign for Gemini. So you might want to check back on that. But I'm going to find out what your highlighted sign is now, as I always do, Cancer. And then, of course, I'll be reading the 4 major categories for not only the highlighted energy that Spirit needs you to know about for reasons I don't know. These are general readings. It could be a person, it could be a circumstance, it could be that feeling or the energy is very predominant for you. Or it could just, the readings could be for anybody you're with in any form of love connection whatsoever. You could be a single person and you just have this really great friend, or you have a great person at work that you're in partnership with, or you have an animal you just got or choose to adopt soon, because that's a very prominent energy that I've been feeling and hearing about for the month of September. And so, well, let's just find out what it is and see what Spirit's wanting to share with you specifically. Okay, Cancer. So for all the beautiful Cancers, for the first half of the month of September, you have the sign of, I want to say Sagittarius. I'm going for it because it's definitely closer to Sagittarius than it is to Capricorn. So we're going to go for it. Now, Sagittarius, if any of you have watched me for any length of time, is like one of my favorite signs. And yes, I am prejudiced because I have a son that's a Sagittarius. But beyond that, it's just been a sign that has been throughout my life, you know, friendships, relationships, romantic, partner-wise, as far as health, I mean, as far as work, as far as, you know, you name it, they're always in my life. So, and I have a kind of an understandable reason for it. I have an Aries moon, so that's a fire moon. So there's that feeling of, you know, the moon versus the sun represents our deepest emotions and how we, you know, react to life, and how, you know, what we feel that we don't necessarily always share right up front with our personality traits of the sun with others. So it would make sense that another fire sign and I would just kind of gravitate, right? And that's what I love about astrology. And I'm an aspiring astrologist. I'm never going to say I'm a professional, but I've been studying the compatibility for the last 30 plus years, way over that actually, because a Sagittarius introduced me to astrology. I'll tell you that. I was 12, and it's been going ever since. And then I added tarot because tarot and astrology are extremely compatible, and that was meant to be as well. But you and Sagittarius, okay, so you, Cancer, being this wonderful watery element that's extremely sensitive, very sentimental, very caring, very nurturing. You're known as the mother sign. You know, you care greatly about your family, the people that you consider to be your family. They're your number one priority. And it's not to say you can't do 100 other things at once as a cardinal sign. You most certainly can. And you represent the season of summer solstice. So you're the initiators. You're the people that like to keep things going and you know, and keep busy and you know, help others in the process. You know, I always use an example because of your maternal side, whether you're a man or a woman, it would be paternal, of course. But all Cancerians have a very strong sense of family, you know, and I've known many Cancer men that are the main caretakers at home while their wives or partners or whatever are at work. So gender side, it matters not. There is this deep, incredible love and sensitivity that's not, it's hard to mistake, because although it can be a little tricky, I think a lot of times people aren't aware of how sensitive a Cancer really is. I mean, a lot of them are very noticeably, and they absolutely have traits that cater to their psychic and clairvoyant and intuitive natures, which is a part of their incredible gifts and, you know, characteristics. That's just well known for water. You know, water is very fluid and it doesn't have boundaries, and it can go and be in places, you know, that other elements can't, and it just kind of feels. And you have Cancer, which is ruled by the moon, and the moon controls us and the tides, and it has strength, and it has moods, and it has changes of current, and it's a lot, you know. And so a lot of Cancers are taking on a lot at all times, and they need time to stop, and they need time to retrieve into their shells. So many times through my readings and personal readings, I've had people, and a perfect example would be a water sign with the fire sign. Fire signs are so demonstrative and so action oriented and so physical and so spirited and so optimistic. Like, this is how it's going to be, and I'm the leader, and we're going to make it happen, and I've got this trust and desire, and it's just so ambitious, right? And then they're great, and they have great passion and compassion, and yet they don't necessarily feel or understand the enormity of the emotional part of water signs and Cancers. So there could be conversations about that happen, but that all can be worked out, because I can't tell you, I wouldn't be able to if I wanted to, all the relationships I've seen that are water and fire, because there's that wonderful tension in there. There's that steamy kind of, you know, when you add fire to water, what happens? It gets steamy, it gets boiling. You just want to make sure it's temperate, which happens to be the tarot card that represents, you know, that of Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is the most benevolent, incredibly lucky, optimistic, you know, expansion of everything it touches kind of energy. So everyone wants to be around that, and Cancers are no exception. And Sagittarians love being cared for and nurtured. They're very independent, though. I mean, this is something I will say straight up. They like their freedom, but when they fall in love, they're in for the long haul. They're definitely devoted, definitely loyal. They care about truth and philosophy and you know, and just higher learning and on taboo subjects a lot of times, you know, it could very well be about astrology and whatnot, which kind of enters into the realm of this, you know, mystery and unraveling of, you know, gifts and opportunities that the water signs have. So it's a nice, really nice coupling in a lot of ways. But yeah, learning each other's love language, I guess that's what it always amounts to. And I also find that outside of romantic love, my readings are about absolute connections of all types, and, you know, the friendships that can evolve in our lives, and that can be lifelong, or, you know, just fleeting, or a season, and all those sayings you hear. But I love this for you, and I find that there's great energy and excitement and adventure, and you might have fire in your chart, Cancer, which is another reason why you would definitely kind of feel a magnetism towards fire. But I like this a lot. I like that there's a sense of needing to, you know, to work at things and to okay, well, let me put this down really quickly too. We're in the Virgo season. It's a very, very beautiful time for all of us. It's a practical time, and it's a time to really focus, because Virgos are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the mind. And here you take your heart and your emotions, Cancer, and you bring it up to the mind a little bit, and you kind of widen your horizons and your perspectives and your thoughts. And the mutable aspect of Virgo would encourage that even more, to be more open-minded and to maybe get out a little more, and to go on that trip with the Sagittarius, whereas you may have just otherwise been at home, you're like, okay, I'll try it, and then doing it and just having the time of your life, that kind of energy. And we have a lot of planets that are now entering into Libra, because when Virgo season ends, which is on the 22nd of September, it's Libra season, and then it starts the fall equinox, which is, you know, it's that balance of exact amount of light and dark. You know, I'm already seeing the changes. I'm sure you have and are feeling it, of course. But it's a beautiful time, and it's a time of change and transformation, and we kind of reap in the harvest of what we've worked for and you know, manifested and dreamed about throughout the year, and watch it and unveil and, you know, present itself, which is phenomenal. And I don't know, I feel absolute love because, well, Venus is the ruling planet of Libra, and you know, it's been in Libra for a little while, and as we go into September, it'll be there through September 10th, and then it goes into Scorpio. This is extremely compatible with you as a fellow water sign, Cancer. So things are getting steamy, I'm just saying, and I can't see a more passionate relationship or friendship than that, other than Leo and, you know, Aries, than with Sagittarius. So now I'm excited, and I want to read the 4 major categories for you that can give us a little more insight as to what energies are coming through. This is strictly just like a guiding map. It's our journey we take in our lives. You can take it or not. You might resonate right away or not, but I always say do watch your moon and ascendant, because sometimes they do excuse me, tend to resonate more. And I don't have reasons for that. It just depends on so many variables. But then you get a full picture of everything. So the first category is that of the overall energy bringing you to this reading. Beautiful Cancer and Sagittarius. Okay, and you have the 10 of Swords, which I love, only because, is it the 9? Yeah, see, I do this. I've done this last time too, I apologize. I got to put my glasses on. And then I want to say that the 9 of Swords is the mind. And as I said, we have a fair amount of Libra energy coming in, which is the air sign, which is about the mind. And then we also have Jupiter and Saturn in the planet of Aquarius, has been all year. It's in retro, well, that's not true. Jupiter took a little stint into Pisces from May 13th to, I think, July 28th. And it's back in Aquarius in retrograde, but it goes forward again in October. And even in retrograde, it still has the energies. They're slowed down a little bit, but they still are about beautification and expansion, and the same ruling planet of Sagittarius. So that's 2 for you right now. And what we have is the 9 of Swords. So the 9 of Swords is what we do. A lot of us do it, certainly the air signs. And you may or may not be able to resonate with this. Maybe you have air in your chart, Cancer. But it's about creating fears and worries and concerns. Okay, it's allowing that to overrule the emotion or the intuition that is the real truth of all of our situations in all of our lives. It's just reminding you that a thought is as fleeting as the snap of a finger. It's like the clouds, which is besides the swords meaning, you know, the straightforward kind of cutting through disillusionment. It's more of an upfront kind of energy. It's detached. It's not as emotional as you, but it's about fairness and equality and standing strong with your convictions and so forth, and being able to speak your truth and verbalize it, because this is important to air signs on the whole, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So you may know people right now in your life that have those energies, or you also have gone through a time with this Libra influence. And let's see, what is it? I think Mercury just has gone into Libra on the 30th of August, and then Mars enters on the 14th. So there's the fiery and the motivation, and the mind kind of goes amok. It goes crazy sometimes, and you just need to stop it and be aware of that and go into your beautiful emotional side, Cancer, to realize that the 9 is the completion of this. It's time to stop that. It's time to let that go, and that's the best thing you can do. Then it becomes the 10, and the 10 is when you're done. You've absolutely had it. You know, you've been backstabbed. You feel like you can't take these thoughts anymore. You don't want to hear these conversations. You're completely over it, as they say. And then it starts a new cycle, so you don't have to. And that's how thoughts are. They're that fleeting. So don't let anything disrupt your sleep or make you worry to the point where you are uncomfortable or at ill ease with anything. That would be the best information from this card. And I love it's the 9 because, like I said, 9 represents in numerology a completion. Okay? It's not to say, and I mean, I would say in all honesty, water signs can tend to have worrisomeness because they have such feeling, and they sometimes, depending on, you know, where you are in your life path, there's a discrepancy that needs to be worked through as to whether it's a feeling or a fear, you know, and balancing that. And that's what Libra is all about, is balancing everything from relationships to our bodies, to our thoughts, to our work life, and everything you can imagine, right? It's finding that balance, which is exactly what you need. It's finding the temperance I mentioned, and that's the alchemy we can do. We can change things magically and very, very quickly with the mindset and the emotional end to do so, or desire to do so. So that's coming into the month. And I like it, like I said, because it's knowing that what you were afraid of or thinking about are things that were being said, and you're separating yourself from that. You're ready to end that. And I love that because the new moon is coming through on the 6th, and it can definitely help to initiate that. Those energies are very strong with the new moon, and they last for a couple of weeks. So you can put the intentions to put an end to whatever it is that this is representing, because it could be many things to many people. And knowing you're in charge of that, always. You do have control of that. And the second category is that of blessings or obstacles. And boy, I'll tell you, you go from, you know, the concerns and the worries to the Queen of Swords. And you know what's interesting? I can just say this because I just did the reading, but because I mentioned to you, Cancer, you were the highlighted sign for the featured sign of Gemini, my last reading. And in the Gemini reading, they had the Queen of Cups. I don't remember the position, but I can tell you that this is a really interesting coincidence, but there are no coincidences, synchronicity. So that, yes, there's a very strong pull or energy, or you're feeling the energy of this beautiful energy and the strength of the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen, like I said, does not mean a man, it does not mean a woman, but it means the part of us that knows and is very much in tune with our intuition, which is the feminine duality within all of us. You know, where we can introspectively go in and really be real about it and say, what is it I'm really worried about? Why? And so forth. You know, we need that time always. And I know you're very good at that, and you can teach many people how to better that part of themselves, Cancer. And so just reminding you, as far as either a blessing or obstacle, you got this. You're strong, and you've got the determination and the will. And when it comes to an air sign, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, yeah, they're going to be strong, and they're going to get through it. They're going to make that happen. They are not quitters. They may vacillate, and they may have a change of heart. They may change their mind, of course, we all do at things, but when they come through, they're going to come through with flying colors, and they want it for the best for everybody involved. They want it to be fair and just, and from a place of love. Okay, and that's a beautiful thing. I like that. That's a blessing. The obstacle may have been just being caught up in the thoughts for a little bit longer than you had wanted to be, but that's a thing of the past, right? As we move into the month. So, third category is that of finances. And yes, it is about money, and money is energy, and money is imperative. We need this in this life, in this three-dimensional world, and it's a beautiful thing. I've had all sorts of different thoughts about spirituality and money and everything throughout my life, and my life has changed immensely with the change of thought process, which I learned a lot from Esther Hicks, you know, Abraham. You know what I'm trying to say. Esther Hicks and the teachings of Abraham. It's a mindset, and that's what I'm a Libra, so my mind is always, you change that, and everything else, your energy, your life, it all changes. You know, it comes from within. You know about that, Cancer. So the the card could be about money for sure, but it could also be about what you consider important and what you would consider wealth. For me, it is health. It's number one. It's absolutely, I say it every time. I will never change my mind. Without that, I don't think anything is important, because I can't fully enjoy it. You know, it's not the holistic whole being aspect that I choose to be and want to be. And so your financial card is that of the Five of Swords. Okay, this is pretty interesting. You have 3 swords, Cancer. So I want to say that, and the 5 is definitely challenged, or was, I should say, because the 5 represents, once again, communications, misunderstandings, maybe even arguments, or, you know, letdowns or disappointments or stalls in your finances, or getting the proper information, you know, because right now, and I'm going to be honest, I mean, I've been through that so much in the last year. The swords also can represent, you know, higher learning and education, but higher institutions, banks, loans, you know, the government. I know that a lot of people I've talked to personally and myself have absolutely experienced that. But guess what? A lot of that has been changing little by little, incrementally. I think help has been coming on the way. You know, the 5 is like allowing the letdowns or disappointments, as you see with the 2 swords and the skull on the ground, to be the part of your past. Hold those beautiful 3 being a very positive number of growth and expansion. Hold those truths, hold those conversations and needs to communicate with you, and take them with you, and make it happen and accomplish it, and just ride through it. You know, you've got the Queen there. That's the strength you need. Those are the judges, or the people to make things right and work in your favor. You know, this is important. So believe and have faith and trust that all will come together, and know that, you know, you've got what it takes. You're gonna have some rough roads in life. We all do. But I really now am very curious, because with 3 swords, it just tells me very clearly, for a good percentage of you, you've got air in your chart, okay? And it's really going to be up to you on how you choose to let that mindset go. It's always going to be that way for anybody. And then also, being a Cancer, you can really create things because of the emotion that you put behind things, and the passion and the love. That'll definitely heal most anything. So the final card is the surprises or wishes coming through for the first half of the month. And remember, we do have a shadow starting period of Mercury retrograde around the 6th. So you're going to start to maybe have some memories, people coming in, circumstances returning to face and to, you know, accept. And then know that with the, once again, predominant energies of Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, that is a Uranus-ruled planet, ruled sign, excuse me. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, so there's unexpected, incredible surprises that can change your life in a heartbeat, you know, for better or not. I'm going for better. I always do in my channels. It's about optimism. We can bring in good things when we're thinking good things. That's just the law of attraction right off the bat. So let's see what it has to say for you, because there's so many thoughts and there are concerns, but there are also some strength about it, and the ability to verbalize that maybe was held back. Maybe you're upset that you wanted to speak up even more, and it's something that's really, really a part of you now as a water sign, that you've always known, and you have intuition, but you want to be able to speak it. Maybe start a YouTube channel, maybe come out and create something that you were delayed on in the past, you know, that upset your finances. Maybe you thought you didn't have enough. Let's see what the surprise is for you. And you have the 4 of Chalices. Okay, well, here you are in your energy, Cancer. And you know, the 4 of Chalices, I love this picture. This is the beautiful Star Spinner Tarot that I'm using. And well, first of all, there you are, the beautiful mermaid, you know, looking outside of the water, because you're capable of being both in the water and out, you know. I mean, you have that versatility and capability, and it's a whole world under that sea, boy, I'll tell you. And there's a castle and a beautiful full moon. And what's interesting is it's a definite card, and when depicted from the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it's about really contemplating and being emotionally affected and involved in your dreams, your wishes. and really thinking, okay, so things are good. I'm definitely a blessed person. I think everybody watching these channels obviously feels that way, and you understand the ups and downs and the changes and cycles of life more clearly than most, Cancer. But you have wishes that are not yet completed, and this is something that's coming through with the thoughts. It's very clear to me. But don't ever stop, and I don't think you are. And know that with the intention behind it, the dreams and the aspirations, are never ending. And I feel that you feel that. And you just have you're contemplating and thinking, I'm going to continue to meditate on it. I'm going to continue to trust. I'm going to continue to bring forth the love and emotion that I have for whatever it is I'm dreaming about or wanting to manifest, and just waiting and allowing it. This is something that would be a surprise when maybe perhaps it comes sooner than you know. I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing here. Holding on and just knowing it's just a wish away. It's just a dream away. We can do and have been seen and proven to do so many things that when it happens, they're like, oh my gosh, it's here. But it's all about the pining and the wishing a lot of times and the journey to it. That's so important. So I'll sit with that. I'll just let you sit with that, because I know that this is a very interesting reading, but it's really making me feel that there's so much that you've had in your mind, and you really want to go back to your biggest gift, which is your ability to create within and to listen and to ask and receive. So then I'll go on to your beautiful oracle messages, because they bring in such wonderful insight and inspiration for just that, to create the lives we want. This first deck is the beautiful Motivation Manifesto deck by Brendan Burchard, who's supposedly an amazing, leader in as far as a wonderful life coach and inspirational coach, a trainer. He's just, I've yet to really follow anything. I just was fascinated with the sound and the name of these cards, and I love positive, ways of thinking, which change our lives in a heartbeat, like I said. So never let go, Cancer. Even the times that you feel a little disheartened, just hang in there. Your beautiful message for the first half of the month of September is, there is a nobility to those who do not let neediness or desperation compromise who they are. Okay, I love this. I really do. It almost feels so compatible with this card of longing and wanting, but knowing you just need to be patient. Just a little while longer. You need to believe, and you need to just allow, and utilize those gifts of creating and co-creating. There is a nobility to those who do not let neediness or desperation compromise who they are. You are the manifester, boy. You are. And I understand it, especially during different phases of our life. We have that material side, or we have these beliefs that, oh, if I only found that right one, and there's a lot of right ones in lifetime. We'll come to find that out, right? And when you're the happiest and the most fulfilled is when all of that seems to come into play. It's like you're perfectly content, and there it comes along. You're like, whoa. I did not see that coming. It's just about allowing. So this last beautiful message is the Super Attractor Manifestation message, where we actually create our lives and choose the life we want. We feel it into existence. We believe it with every cell in our body. And so your beautiful message to end your reading. I love this. It came up a couple of readings ago, but it's one of my favorites. It's a beautiful card, but it also says what every one of us, I think, need to hear. I heal the habit of fear. It's understandable. It's fully understandable. We just need to conquer it. And I embrace the habit of love, because love will conquer every fear. Always has, always will. And all you need to do is focus and believe and really dream and imagine and create that. for yourself. Look at that, beautiful. And then there's the second person. It could be you. It could be, you know, the divine in you. It could be that wonderful partner, friend, or what have you. It's out there for us. I just appreciate you watching my video. If you liked it, do me a favor and push the like, I should say, subscribe button. Subscribe doesn't mean you're going to enter into anything or have to pay for anything. It's just a very beautiful way to support my channel. And I love and appreciate all of you who do that for me. I love my readings. I love giving them to you. And I hope you'll come back for the mid-month reading, because it's kind of like a segue. You can compare notes and the energies and so forth. But trust in your abilities and your beauty and your emotional love that you have. And have a beautiful first half of the month. Until next time, thank you so much, and bye for now.